For absolutely free, I'm going to tell you 3 categories of stock you should have in your portfolio as a beginner or someone that wants to grow his portfolio from $10 to $100 within a very short period of time. Number 1 is you should have dividend stock in your portfolio. Now, what do I mean by dividend stocks? These are stocks that pay you a token at the end of the month in form of percentage of how much you already have in your portfolio. This percentage could range from 15% to as much as 100% and even more than 100%. So let's start from the one that pay 15%. Now, the one that pay 15% is AGNC. As you can see here, they pay 15% per annum. Now, what this means is that they may be paying this 15% per annum, but it will be divided by 12 months. So that means they are paying 1 point something percent per month as dividend. Well, I do not actually own these stocks. I don't own it because I feel that the percentage they are paying as dividend is very small. So let's go to number 2, which is the one that I actually own. This one that I said I own, they pay as much as 130 something percent per annum, so which makes it very, very attractive. And for information purpose, their stock is very down now, it's very low, so you can key into it and start earning the dividend as soon as you want. Currently they pay as much as 120% as dividend. So the amount they pay per dividend also varies sometimes depending on how much profit they make per time. And they pay this dividend monthly, so which means that 120 something percent dividend will be divided by 12 months. Now that means that for every month you'll be having 10%, an average of 10% of the amount that you have as shares in their company. That means that if you have 100 shares in their company, you are likely going to get as much as $10 as dividend being paid directly to your portfolio at the end of the month. So you'll be $10 richer at the end of the month. This is why I love this particular stock. Now, the second category of stock you should have in your portfolio is ETFs. Now, these ETFs are stocks they are tiny portion of a giant stock. What does this mean? Look at Nvidia. If you look at Nvidia now, you see that Nvidia is almost unaffordable for a beginner. You can see Nvidia is $174 per share. For someone that is just starting stock afresh, you may not be able to afford as much as this amount, so you want to consider buying the ETF of Nvidia. Now, the ETF of Nvidia is called NVDL, like NVDL. So they call it granite shares of Nvidia. Now look at the granite share of Nvidia is almost half of Nvidia. This is $83. You can just decide to buy as much as 10. The truth is that you still get the same value. You still get the same value. What I mean is profit. Now, if the real Nvidia goes up by $4, this ETF too will go up by $4. If Nvidia comes down by $4, the ETF will also come down by $4. So it is advisable for a beginner to invest in this kind of stock for maximum profit. Now, that is for Nvidia. There are so many other stocks that have ETF. You can just look for a giant stock. You can look for even Apple. Apple also have ETF. You can buy the ETF of Apple and grow your portfolio with it. Now, the third category of stock is growth stocks. Now, this third category is for people that have already grown their portfolio to a certain amount of money, in which they have the capacity to buy even if it is half of a giant stock. Now, considering buying half of Nvidia or half of Palantir, half of any stock that is already in S&P 500 category. Those are the first 500 stocks that are doing well in America, in US. So you consider yourself buying any of these stocks and grow with time. These ones may take even years to grow, but one thing is certain: these companies are very, very reliable, and they when they want to grow, they grow very well and they grow very fast. If you are watching from Facebook, like this and send your comment. If you are watching from YouTube, kindly subscribe to this channel. Thank you.